Reach for the Top, Part 2. Maria Sharapova. A Russian girl, Maria Sharapova, reached the summit of women's tennis when she was barely 18. As you read about her, see if you can draw a comparison between her and Santosh Yadav. There is something disarming about Maria Sharapova, something at odds with her ready smile and glamorous attire. And that something in her lifted her on Monday, 22nd August 2005, to the world number 1 position in women's tennis. All this happened in almost no time. Poised beyond her years, the Siberian-born teenager took just 4 years as a professional to reach the pinnacle. There is something at odds with Maria Sharapova with her smile and dress. This lifted her on 22nd August 2005 to the world's number 1 position in women's tennis. She is a Siberian teenager. It took her 4 years to achieve the top position. However, the rapid ascent in a fiercely competitive world began 9 years before, with a level of sacrifice few children would be prepared to endure. Little Maria had not yet celebrated her 10th birthday when she was packed off to train in the United States. That trip to Florida with her father, Yuri, launched her on the path to success and stardom. But it also required a heart-wrenching 2-year separation from her mother, Elena. The latter was compelled to stay back in Siberia because of visa restrictions. The 9-year-old girl had already learned an important lesson in life, that tennis excellence would only come at a price. Maria's climb upwards started 9 years before. She was not yet 10 when she was sent to America in train. That trip to Florida with her father Yuri put her on the line to success and stardom. But it meant a separation also of 2 years from her mother Elena. Elena had to live in Siberia due to visa restriction. The 9-year-old girl knew that tennis excellence would only come at a price. I used to be so lonely, Maria Sharapova recalls. I miss my mother terribly. My father was working as much as he could to keep my tennis training going, so he couldn't see me either. Because I was so young, I used to go to bed at 8 p.m. The other tennis pupils would come in at 11 p.m. and wake me up and order me to tidy up the room and clean it. Maria used to be very lonely. She missed her mother terribly. She says that her father worked as much as he could to keep her tennis training go on, so he was not able to see Maria. As she was young, she used to go to bed by 8 p.m. When the other tennis players entered, they woke her up around 11 p.m. and forced her to clean the room. Instead of letting that depress me, I became more quietly determined and mentally tough. I learned how to take care of myself. I never thought of quitting because I knew what I wanted. When you come from nothing and you have nothing, then it makes you very hungry and determined. I would have put up with much more humiliation and insults than that to steadfastly pursue my dream. Instead of getting depressed, she actually became quite determined and mentally tough. Maria took care of herself. She did not have the intention to quit because she knew what she wanted. She says that when you come without anything and you have nothing, then it makes you very hungry and determined. Though she had to face many insults, she did not mind it, as her main focus was to pursue her dream. That toughness runs through Maria even today. It was the key to her bagging the women's singles crown at Wimbledon in 2004 and to her meteoric rise to the world number 1 spot the following year. Maria has the same toughness in mind even today. This made her to win the women's singles crown at Wimbledon in 2004 and also rise to the world number 1 the following year. While her journey from the frozen plains of Siberia to the summit of women's tennis has touched the hearts of tennis fans, for the youngster herself, there appears to be no room for sentiment. The straight looks and the answers she gives when asked about her ambition makes it amply clear that she considers the sacrifices were worth it. I am very, very competitive. I work hard at what I do. It's my job. This is her mantra for success. Maria has journeyed from Siberia to the top of women's tennis. It has touched the hearts of tennis fans. She looks straight and answers clearly. She was a girl who did not permit any way for sentiments. These tell us that her sacrifices were worth it. She says that she works hard at what she does. This is her mantra for success. Though Maria Sharapova speaks with a pronounced American accent, she proudly parades her Russian nationality. Clearing all doubts, she says, I am Russian. It's true that the US is a big part of my life, but I have Russian citizenship. My blood is totally Russian. I will play the Olympics for Russia if they want me. Maria speaks with an American accent. She shows her pride to be a Russian. She says that her blood is Russian. However, the US is a big part of her life. She will play the Olympics for Russia if they wanted her to play. Like any number of teenage sensations, Maria Sharapova lists fashion, singing, and dancing as her hobbies. She loves reading the novels of Arthur Conan Doyle. Her fondness for sophisticated evening gowns appears at odds with her love of pancakes with chocolate spread and fizzy orange drinks. Sharapova's hobbies are fashion, singing, and dancing. She loves reading the novels of Arthur Conan Doyle. She is fond of evening gowns. She likes pancakes with chocolate spread and orange drinks. Maria Sharapova cannot be pigeonholed or categorized. Her talent, unwavering desire to succeed, and readiness to sacrifice have lifted her to the top of the world. Few would grudge her the riches she is now reaping. This is what she has to say about her monetary gains from tennis. Of course, money is a motivation. Tennis is a business and a sport. But the most important thing is to become number one in the world. That's the dream that kept me going. Sharapova can't be put in a category. She has talent, a desire to succeed, and readiness to sacrifice. These qualities have lifted her to the top of the world. She finds money as motivation. Tennis is a business and a sport. But the most important thing is to become number one in the world. This dream has kept her going.